Welcome to It's Called Reality,
the discourse for people who give a shit.
I'm Willow.
I'm Brianna, and today we are going back, way back.
America's Next Top Model, a history.
We watched it as kids, and now we're looking at it very differently. There is a trigger warning that we'll be talking about eating disorders, disordered eating, body shapes, images, so listen with care, and if you would like to skip this episode, we'll see you at the next one. Let's get into it.
Okay, so I think in our first episode, we talked a little bit about America's Next Top Model because for me, that was like one of my foundational reality TV shows that I like grew up watching.
That's right. That's right.
So this will be interesting to see like how much I remember about it because honestly, as I was looking at some of our questions and I was like, I don't know if I've really done the like self-reflection on some of these. So this will be interesting to like dig into what that show did to
That's how
my
I
psyche,
felt.
I guess.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having a critical lens, but then I'm also very protective of it. And I'm protective of it because it's like very nostalgic. And I don't know, I'm more forgiving to things that I'm nostalgic about or that hit me harder when I was a kid. And I feel like this is one of those things. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
That is interesting. Okay, I'm curious to hear that perspective when we get into it. So the format of America's Next Top Model, just to like recap, because it's been a few years since it's been on air. It ran for 24 cycles, starting in 2003 until 2018. And it was created by and starred Tyra Banks. She was like the host of the show and obviously is a pretty like iconic figure now. And I think she was then too. And the premise was aspiring models compete in photo shoots, runway challenges, and panel judging for the title of America's Next Top Model.
So good.
And contract with the modeling agency. I think they got a cosmetics deal and like a spread in a magazine. So I think Tyra had pitched it as like it was Real World meets American Idol. So it's like the competition show basis, but then also you see like the drama of the house. And basically one contestant is eliminated each week via Tyra's I have photos of the girls who are still in the running, or, you know, and then she had the pictures of them, that like ritual.
I only have one photo left in my hands.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many. It's like we can
Iconic
quote that whole
quotes.
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's wild.
For you. We were all rooting for you.
Yeah. Oh,
Or
man.
smizing. I feel like she put smizing on the scene.
Smizing? Wait, let's see your smize.
Wait, no.
She did this, like, she would do this thing. She'd be like, this is me not smizing, and now watch me smize.
It's just boobies up.
I know, that's what I felt. It's just like, yeah, just tits out. Wait,
I feel like, yeah, I was like, this is me normal, and this is me smizing.
So clearly we learned a lot. This is how it's impacted us. But yeah, I feel like it was a foundational show because, well, yeah, Real World meets American Idol, which were like early reality TV. But then it kind of, because it was like an amalgamation of both, it kind of like launched this genre of this competition makeover hybrid show. And then also like well, I guess American Idol had this too, but like the reality TV panel of judges and everything. And
right.
All of the judges also became like kind of iconic too, right?
Re-famous if they weren't famous in the industry already. Yeah.
And yeah, like the living together of the girls behind the scenes, and as one of like the first shows to do so and set that blueprint. And I was thinking about like why I really liked the behind the scenes thing, and this was so fun to like my kid brain was that like every season the like theme of where they were staying, like their bedrooms and stuff, were like it was all decorated as a certain theme, you know, and it was like they all got to choose their bedrooms and like what beds they got and stuff, and it's kind of like summer camp vibes in a way, you know.
Oh, I can totally see that. Yeah, and they're all like 18, so that's it's the brief.
Oh my gosh, they're all so young. It's crazy.
So young. Yeah.
And I guess like 2003 we were like 10 or whatever, like
yeah.
That seemed really old to us.
Yeah,
now
like 18.
looking back, like,
no, yeah, like you were literally babies. I remember being shocked that they were one of the first TV shows to have like a behind, like to put all the castmates in the same house together and then film them at the same house together. Because that actually now is like so standard in so many reality shows that there's like, it's not just what's happening in the house, but that's like half of what we're watching. Like even Bachelor and Bachelorette, we see so much of like they're living at the house away from the main person and the dates and stuff. It's just crazy that that was a blueprint for decades to come.
So I just rewatched I didn't get all the way through it, but the documentary that just released on Netflix about it, which, you know, it's like looking back at
expose.
In hindsight, it's like, whoa, there was a lot that was not great about this show, because it was like the Wild West of reality shows where there's like no rules, and even still it's, you know, obviously not great, like producer manipulations and stuff. But one of the things that like the executive producer says to kind of defend them filming a particularly awful scene in which there's a contestant who's like sexually assaulted on screen basically, but he's like, oh, we thought of it, this is just a documentary, so we're just here observing what's happening. And it's like, maybe that's what they have to tell themselves, but it's like, this isn't a documentary because these women wouldn't have been in that situation. Like, you produced the situation for that to happen, so
produce the situation,
responsible for it,
or incentivizing them to be on their best behavior to like not upset production and be able to win a huge cash prize and career promise. Like, it's not a documentary by any, and even if it was a documentary, you have a right to intervene when somebody is being sexually assaulted or is so intoxicated that they can't consent to anything else that's happening. Like, somebody should intervene. I think we've talked about this before, where like, yes, there are train wrecks and yes, there's drama on TV, but we as a viewer don't have an obligation or like a right to watch people go through severely traumatic events. I just, that like, at the time I remember watching that season and like buying into the drama of like how they spun that narrative, which is that, she had cheated on her boyfriend when like that is not the case. She was like blackout drunk and could not consent to what was happening to her. And also the producers like put these men into their house they were living in. Like, it's just awful. But as a child, just like bought the narrative that they were telling us. And honestly,
totally.
I think even I would have a hard time to this day, like watching what's happening. And you have to do so much work to like put on a different lens as to what you're watching and like peel back and try to like question the storylines, because the editing of the storyline is like so hard on the outcomes.
Because it's everything that they do. Like, it's how they produce it, it's how they cut it, it's what they choose to show and choose to not show. It's also like down to like the music that they put over certain people, right? Like, that will tell you how you're supposed to feel about them.
Totally.
And that's just like a part of our brain that if you're not like conscious of it, it's gonna influence you, because that's just how our brains work. But again, there was just something about that era of what makes good TV, and we've talked about this a little bit, where I think we have moved on from it. It's like, we can watch people like having a good time on TV, even in a competition show. Like, what is it? Do you ever watch the Great British Bake Off?
Oh, the Great British
Canadian
one?
Yes,
one? I love Bake Off Canada. Watch the Canadian one, watch the British one. They're so good. That feel good, like so wholesome vibes. Very sweet. Yeah.
And it's still like, there's still drama, you know, built because it's a competition, you know, and like someone's like cake falls apart or whatever, right? It's like, I don't know. It's still stressful, and it's still, so that makes it still fun to watch, but also they're all like supporting each other, and that's nice. Yeah.
I agree.
And I get that like cakes versus like modeling is different, but I don't know. To me, it just feels like a cop out of like, this is what makes good TV. It's like, well, to be more imaginative. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. And I think part of it too is like, you are setting the tone for the type of viewer that you're attracting. Like, people who don't want to watch what you're putting out there won't watch it, and then the people who do will. But you are setting the tone for the type of viewership and audience that you want to have, and you still have a responsibility to like do no harm, I feel like. And I feel like the show did not do that at all. They did a lot of harm to their contestants, but also to the audience watching as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess just like some context of like the cultural moment beyond like what reality TV was at that time that the show like came up in. 2003 was like pre-social media. It was like coming off the 90s of like the fashion industry and like early 2000s of like peak thinness, like the heroin chic look and everything. Like that was the beauty standard. And America's Next Top Model, the angle was that Tyra was trying to do, at least at first, was like claiming to be fighting the beauty standard by casting women of like different body types and ethnicities and heights and backgrounds that like you wouldn't typically see in high fashion, which was like, I guess, radical at the time. But then it was also ended up being like very contradictory because, again, this is something that we've talked about before about like representation versus stereotyping and like how they represented diversity was just like, not great. Such as the challenges they would do, it was like ethnicity switches and, you know, the unhoused photo shoot. So brutal.
That one's bad.
Yeah, that one's so bad. Or like, what was the one where it was like victims of violent crimes or something?
Oh, yeah. And then one of the contestants like had a family member or close friend who like literally, I think maybe it was their mom. Their mom like was murdered. And it's like, you guys that's fucked.
And I think it's just because like, at least in the documentary, they're kind of talk about how like they just kind of like lost the plot, and there was this thing of always needing to top the last season and do like crazier and crazier challenges and everything. Yeah. And it's interesting because like the way what the show was doing is kind of like mirroring what they were like expecting the contestants to do, if you know what I mean. It's like, if you win this, all, like fame and money and like making it is worth all of this pain and embarrassment and like anything that's like worth it to make
that
it
was
to
for
the top.
Sure the narrative. I think that was also the narrative of the time, because we didn't have social media. So like, how do you consume the behind the scenes? You don't. But I think like a lot of the judges, especially at the makeover episode, would like they usually are just giving the girls some sort of makeover. They cut off all their hair, they give them extensions, or they dye their hair a totally different color. And for a lot of the girls who are getting their hair like completely chopped or buzz cut, like super pixie short, they're extremely upset. And a lot of them are like, I can't do this. And they're having an emotional reaction to something that a lot of women and a lot of people who really care about their hair would have a reaction to, of being told this is what you're doing and you don't even get a say over it. And it's happening like right now in 10 minutes. And then they like hold their reactions against them. And then in the talking heads, like the other girls are like, oh my God, she was so dramatic, or like, I didn't care about mine, she can just suck it up. And they're like, it's also like a very like pit the women against each other, which is also not a narrative or like thing that we like. But yeah, and then, you know, the girls go through with it because they feel like they have to. And in the side, like Mr. J is telling them like, you know, this is worth it. This is your career. Like, are you really gonna let your hair stop you from becoming like a very successful, or from winning this thing? Like, are you really gonna do that? Like, beauty is pain, beauty is suffering, like you're more than this. And that is like that is so apparent through the whole show. And like, yeah, now as like in hindsight, that's a hard watch. And I think are like stepping out of that from like the mainstream narrative. I still think that narrative exists, but we approach it in a different way of like beauty is pain and stuff like that. But they were just like outrightly telling it to their faces. Like, that's so brutal. And then plot twist, it's actually not worth it, because I don't think a single girl who's finished or appeared on that show or won the show had a successful global modeling career.
No, it actually ended up like working against them, because
Scarlet
reality reality TV had like
a worse stigma.
A stigma in the industry. It was like, you're not a real model, like you didn't come up the way the rest of these models did or whatever. Right. Something that they would use a lot as like a manipulation tactic, basically, to get the women to conform to what they wanted them to do, was be like, and I think this is like a common thing that is like used against women, is like, don't be difficult to work with. Like, you don't want to be known as like the model that's hard to work with, simply for like having any sort of boundaries, you know? Correct. Yeah. Again, is this like, you got to do what you got to do to make it kind of thing. Like, put your own values and morals aside And like, if you do, it's selling this like myth of like the American dream in a way, right? Where it's like, oh, you could have this chance to be plucked out of possibly poverty in some of the cases of some of these women and like become a star. And it's also like was right before, at least when the show started, like this pre-social media era. It was kind of like the girl boss era was kind of like about to start, like very peak like hustle culture. So that's just like all tied in to it as well.
Yeah. This idea of like there's no such thing as burnout is this idea of like you're just go book. Look how busy I am. Look how much I can do. Like I can see all 10 of these ghosties and still make it back in time, and I can do this. And it's like, oof.
It's very American, like very much America's Next Top Model, I guess. It's like right there in the name, you know. It's very, that mentality.
Yeah. I love that.
All right. I want to go back to like our relationships to the show though, because I want to hear more about like what you mean about how you feel protective of it and your relationship to it at the time and then how it's changed.
Yeah. Well, okay. So at the time, I wouldn't say like there were some shows that I would watch where I was like, if I am like off at my dance class, I like set the VCR to auto record a show and like make sure that it's recording it so that when I get home I can watch it, because like there was not even the option to like go back and watch it on your DVR. But this was not one of those shows. So this was very much a show that like if I saw it and I could watch it, I'd be watching it, but it wasn't like a must see week after week. Like I think I would record the OC to like watch week after week. But so this was like something I was interested in, but it was like when it was convenient. But yeah, I don't know. I really liked it in terms of like, I liked that competitive like competition aspect of it. I loved like watching them get their photos and then like hearing how their photos went. And then at the end, like seeing what I think that was like my favorite part was like the reveal of like, this was your best photo. And like, there's no way some of these were their best photos. And I think in that documentary, it says like, that was for sure not my best photo. They wanted me out that week. And that's what they did. Which the editing, the producers, what are you doing? Like, just give us the best photos or just tell us whatever. But yeah, I really liked seeing what their best photos were, then judging the shit out of them with the judges.
Totally. And like, I know it turned out that the photo shoots were actually not helpful for getting them actual modeling jobs because they were like so overproduced and like they're wearing so much makeup and stuff. And it's like, no, if you're trying to book jobs, you're supposed to show what you actually look like. Like
Polaroids,
that's what makes you bookable.
Completely unedited.
Yeah. But that being said, and I guess this is the part where I'm like, I did like it for TV was like, aside from the ones that were like deeply problematic, but like the creativity of them was fun.
Yeah. And I think that's like something that they could have done. They could have come up with like very elaborate photo shoots with like crazy sets, and like they could have sunk their money into that type of drama as opposed to the like wackiness and like shock factor. They could have I don't know, done something like that. I feel like also almost every season they had like a nudity shoot at some point, and that also like really upset a lot of the girls, which like understandably so like forcing them to do that also upsetting. But yeah, so I definitely like liked a lot of the aspects of the show. But yeah, I think there's like this piece of me that I'm like, oh, like I think it's like little me really liked that show, and little me really had like a soft spot for that show. So when we like come at it now with a critical lens, I feel like I'm protective of like the little version of me who really liked it. And so I'm like, when I bash it, I'm like, oh, like what does that say about like little me? So I'm very much like protective over it as well, because I'm protective of her. So yeah, I don't know, that piece of it is interesting. I mean, of course I'm still gonna judge the shit out of it, but having to separate like the show from the lens at the time that I watched it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a part of your childhood in a way. So yeah, I get that.
I mean, this is definitely a show like for a little girl who loved dance and loved being seen on stage. I think this was like the closest type of thing to that at the time that was on TV, of like getting dolled up with the makeup and the costumes, and like that's something I really liked. So getting to see that too was what I was there for. And then the drama of what happened, obviously I was watching that and stuck around for that. And I think also, like, side note, my sister and I would also watch the Tyra show after school. Like, she had a TV show. Yeah. And that was like something that we would watch. I don't even think it was on for that many seasons, but like I think I saw every episode, which is wild. from the
that is wild.
The reruns. Yeah.
I don't think I ever watched the Tyra show.
That's probably so problematic. I would not recommend.
I mean, but that's the thing too. It's like we don't have to like necessarily critique everything about it, right? Like there was like I mean, yeah, something to it. And like, I mean, it was around for a long time, and it's still a big part of like the cultural conversation. I think not even just because that documentary just came out, but like, I don't know, just because was so foundational of a show. Like,
yeah.
And a lot of people our age came up
with it,
watching it. And and then now we're able to like look back on it in a more adult view, but society has progressed. And so it's kind of like a good thing that you look back at these old things and you realize like, oh, this isn't okay to say anymore or to do. But it's like, that's kind of like a good sign.
Yeah.
It's a good sign that now like collectively we're all kind of like, what? Like, how did that decision ever get made? You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. Yeah. What about you? What was your relationship to the show? You said you would watch it with your sister-in-law and your mom?
Yeah, I think my mom would watch it with us too. That must have been like when I was in my like preteens, like 12, 13. It was the same thing. Like I just really liked the spectacle of it, and yeah, like something about the shows that are like formulaic like that are very satisfying. You know, you can kind of predict, and then it's like, oh, what's it going to be next week? But it's like the same like challenges or whatever. Yeah. And I definitely like bought into the whole like part of it where they're like training them to become models, like the teaching like challenges and stuff that they did. I always really liked the go see episodes where they're like running around these different cities, and yeah, just like the whole pageantry of it. And it's also just like was a show with a bunch of like beautiful girls on it, you know, so I think that was just like attractive to young me to watch, where it's like just anyone being like a sucker for pretty faces, you know.
I do know.
And because of the way it was framed, it like spoke to this fantasy, which like, again, I think I've mentioned earlier about like the early 2000s being like big for makeover culture. And it's like, oh, this ugly duckling becoming a princess type thing. And like my first exposure to that was The Princess Diaries, which is like one of my like favorite movies. Probably came out when I was like quite young, and I actually went to go see it in the theaters with my grandma, so it's like very special. Like, because it's about
you are Mia, don't remember her last name.
Yeah, and like that fantasy for me as like a kid that was like felt awkward or whatever, right? I'm like, oh, but when I grow up, I'm gonna be like, I just need to like change my hair color or whatever. And secretly, I'm gonna take my glasses off and be beautiful. You know, it's like that fantasy that we. So I think that was like a big part of the show too. Yeah, you know, it's like maybe this could be me. You know, so I think that was like a big part of liking it. And then I also think, I mean, like personally for me liking it, because it was like this thing that I watched with my mom and then like my eventual sister-in-law. I have 3 older brothers, so I just grew up with like a lot of boys. And then this was like a show that was like for girls that
for
felt
the girls
special in that way, I guess. Yeah. Compared to like Fear Factor or Survivor or whatever, you know, it was like different.
Yes, we were a big Fear Factor household. As you were saying that, all I was thinking about was Drag Race, because Drag Race is like very similar to America's Next Top Model in the sense that it's like competition, panels. We don't see the behind the scenes. I don't know if they live all together. I can't imagine them living all together and it not being off camera, but it's very much like challenge. They do their runway and like things like that. And I just feel like if America's Next Top Model came back now, that I feel the contestants would have huge careers, and like not careers maybe necessarily as high fashion models, but like 1,000% as influencers, like 1,000%. It would be like overnight influencer status reached. And it's almost a shame. It's almost a shame that it started too soon so that the contestants couldn't like really get their money, you know?
Right. Because now there is a benefit of going on reality TV. Well,
no matter what
it still is that like you might make it where it's like the show might blow up and I might get 1 million followers on Instagram and like I can leave my career as a nurse or whatever, you know, which is like we need more nurses, but also I get it because we don't have enough of them, and it's a very stressful, thankless job.
I can leave my serving job and I can become a influencer, content creator, and like especially at this type of competition where it's like the goal is a career based on how you look. Like I feel like actually like it would actually serve the audience and serve the viewers to be able to buy into that with the social media platforms that we have now. I don't know. I just feel like they got the short end of the stick with it launching too early and with just everything else they had to endure during that time.
There was positives of how we were interacting with the show, but it was also like, despite the fact that it was trying to like break the beauty standard, it was really like reinforcing it in many different ways, right? From like the
tropes.
makeover episode. So many tropes, and like body weight, like even though, you know, Tyra herself, who was like a controversial figure because she came up during a time where she was seen as this like inspirational model who was like one of the first Black models, and also she was a little more curvy, so that was like a big deal. And so I think it did really matter to her, at least at first, to showcase diversity. So you got to give her props for that. I don't know, she's just a complicated figure.
She is extremely complicated.
But at the same time then she was like wanted to teach them how they could be successful in the industry, and the industry, I don't know, she was like trying to toe the line between like breaking these beauty standards and also being like, but to get booked you need to be like a size 0 or whatever, you know?
Here's my thoughts. Booking Janice Dickinson as your judge for as long as she was on it was not helping the beauty standards industry. I feel like at one point I remember her specifically saying, and I don't remember if it was in the show or if it was like in a magazine that I read afterwards, but that she said she likes her models to have anorexia and to have eating disorders because it meant that they would be super skinny. And like, that is so wrong. And she probably doesn't even think of it because it's so normal. I mean, if your messaging is we're here to redefine beauty standards, that is not redefining a beauty standard, and that is not a messaging that you should be reinforcing. And to have her sit on the panel with that perspective and with that messaging is entirely contradictory. And she's so loud about it. Like, she's not like, oh, I'm just going to say this off camera. Like, she's aggressive. She's like abusive, like verbally abusive. She was horrible to these people. So I don't know if it's good cop, bad cop, and Tyra's trying to be good cop and allowing Janice Dickinson to be the bad cop. And Tyra is saying this is what we're doing, and I never said those things and blah, blah, blah. But as the executive producer of the show, like, you are allowing that narrative to continue to happen on screen and off screen. So that's a hard one to sit with from her end, as like, how much were you really trying to change the industry?
Totally. I think having Janice Dickinson there was another, like, it makes good TV, the good cop, bad cop thing of, like, they were trying to replicate, for example, like American Idol, who had, like,
like Simon Cowell.
Yeah, they're trying to do that because that is, like, what got people talking
People were
about
talking
the show,
about,
right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think that was, like, a big part of it. But then it's like, okay, you did cast plus size models eventually.
Who were like size
crazy.
6s. Like, okay.
I know.
Okay.
I know. It's crazy. But then they were called fat by the judges.
Yeah.
Constantly. They were made, like, this was in the documentary, but there was the example, I think it was in cycle 4. It's like Kenya, I think her name was.
I don't remember.
She had, like, gained weight while they were filming. And so then they, like, the production picked at that and used that to, like, try and break her, basically. Which were, like, they did, like, the 7 Deadly Sins shoot that season. And so they cast her as Gluttony. And then the next episode, they were, like, supposed to be African animals or something. And they cast her as the elephant. And it was just, like, very bullying.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence.
They were trying to, like, create an eating disorder, it seems like.
The poor girl. And also, you're really going to say something, and, like, I don't even know if she said anything in the show, but it's definitely the either explicit or implicit, like, stuff that's said. You're going to make this a big deal, you're going to be difficult to work with, like, just do the shoot.
That is something that we were also consuming, you know, whether we
100%
were aware of it or not. And, you know, it wasn't just America's Next Top Model. Obviously it was, like, all media and like life around us at the time, but still pretty rough, pretty sad.
As prep for the show, because I'm half Chinese, half white, and I was like, how many half Asian contestants were even on the show in 18 seasons? And I think it was like a grid of like 20 Asian or mixed Asian contestants. So like one per season.
Yeah.
Maybe there was two and like one season had zero. And I'm just like, oh my God, where is my mixed Asian homies? Where's the diversity? Where's the representation? I was trying to like look to be like, I don't know if anybody won. I don't remember. I didn't get that far into the looking, but just like, I didn't see myself represented on that show, even like racially.
Do you think that had an impact on you at all?
All TV. Whenever I see someone who's a half Asian on TV, I'm like, nice, a halfie. Like immediately my favorite contestant or my favorite person to look at. And like, I'll be watching TV with Dennis. I'll be like, I think they're half. And he's like, really? And I'll Google it. I'm like, yep, they're like half Asian. He's like, oh, I didn't even like check that. I'm like, I don't know. I just have a radar. I just have my half Asian radar. And it's like, I don't know. It's perspective that is not, it's like still something I'm like flushing out and like still trying to understand. But it's like this, like you don't fit in with the white group. You don't fit in with the Asian group. And so like seeing white people on media, I don't relate to white people in media. And then seeing Asian people in media, I like relate more, but I still don't feel like I'm fully represented until there's like a mixed perspective. I sometimes even feel like seeing like people who are half black, half white. I'm like, I actually feel like I understand and resonate more with them for having this like I feel like this mixed component is stronger than either half.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense for sure.
I think someone came out with a music video and like ironically, I don't even know who the artist is, but they only cast half Asian, half white people. So they casted Hudson Williams, and then they had Lola Tung from The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then they had one of the like the Olympic Alyssa Liu, the Olympic ice skater. She's also half Asian, and I was just like, oh my God. And everyone, I don't know, I was just like, this is a big deal. This is a really big deal, everybody. Like everyone here is very attractive, very good looking, and they look like me. No, just kidding. But seeing the representation, I was like, yes, this is very nice. Like more of this. As a total tangent, did you ever watch To All the Boys I've Loved Before? No, it's this like young adult, I guess like coming of age / love story. And like the main character, her mom dies. Her mom is Asian and her dad is white. And so the three sisters are mixed. And that was like the first time when it was like a movie I had seen where it was like, this is a true like plot of the story. It's not just like somebody who's mixed or like half Asian, half white. This is integral to their story of like them being mixed. This came out a while ago, maybe pre-COVID or like just at the start of COVID. And I was like, this is like impactful. Like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know what you're saying, where it's like the media we consume affects us. Like that type of representation, it does matter. It makes people feel included when they can see themselves in storylines and they can see their bodies and their faces reflected around them. Like it matters.
Yeah, of course, because storytelling is how we experience catharsis and how we like connect and stuff. So if you're not able to relate, it's like a fundamental human thing of like of
being seen.
Receiving stories and seeing yourself in stories. Like, that makes so much sense. And it's something obviously that like, because white is considered like the norm, that like
the default,
white people don't even consider, because when you've never had that experience of not seeing yourself in some way, right? I was even saying I saw myself in like the Princess Diaries, you know what I mean? Like where we live, I feel like there's so many half Asians, like a lot of people. Anyways, hopefully
but it's not enough.
Continues to be the case.
It's not enough. And then I went and I married a white man. Why did I do that?
Well, he's indigenous, so, he is
mixed.
Some.
Yes, in a different way. Our child is beautiful, but...
Yes.
Anyways, this is getting a little too eugenics for me. So, like, I'm actually interested. So, like, in you growing up with 3 older brothers, how was your, like, femininity expressed? Like, did you get in touch with any of that piece? Or was this show and like watching like the ultra hyper feminization of women, was that like a real big outlet for you, or did you like have other outlets of that?
I mean, when I was little, I was like very much a tomboy, I would say, because I wanted to be like my brothers. So like when I was like quite little, like 5 and under probably, you know, I would be like also not wear a shirt or, you know, like stuff like that, because like they weren't wearing one, or like there was a time when I wanted to wear boxers because like that's what my brothers were. So, and honestly, to my mom's credit, she let me. She was like, okay,
Respect.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like she would put me in like dresses and stuff sometimes, you know. But I don't know. I just didn't have any really examples of like an older to like teach me about all of that stuff, like makeup and fashion and everything. So I was interested in, I guess, like through my friends. But also I'm so jealous of like not having a sister. Like, oh my God, what I would give to have like a sister. Like my brothers and I were fine, but it's like it's not the same. It's not,
I understand.
it's just not
my
the
sister is my best friend, and growing up she was also my biggest mortal enemy. But we're past that now.
Yeah, but that's like I don't know, it's just like a special relationship that I'm like, I'll never understand like that level of, especially, well, you guys are so close in age as well, but it was like being the only girl made me like special, but also was like lonely in a way, and like still is in like the family dynamic.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so let's go like more big picture. So Devil Wears Prada 2 came out recently, and this is a Anne Hathaway connection. Who knew that she was so connected? Like Princess Diaries, and then Devil Wears Prada 1 came out around early 2000s time too. Also about the fashion industry. Anyways, and now the second one has come out. So like America's Next Top Model and the first Devil Wears Prada were like both products of like kind of the same cultural moment, and we're both a part of like the peak era of like the fashion industry gatekeeping of like who decides what beauty looks like. And then this is kind of like an offshoot of that, and more about like the fashion industry and media generally. But Devil Wears Prada 2 really goes into like the current state of the fashion and media industries, where like print is dying, and like power is being held more and more by like influencers and algorithms, and like how that's changing who the gatekeepers are. And basically in it, I won't get into like the whole plot, but eventually like the runway is bought by like a Jeff Bezos wife character, like his ex-wife. It's not actually, but like that's kind of like who she's understood to be. So she's like has billions of dollars and wants to do good with it, basically. So she's kind of like this sympathetic billionaire that like buys runway and is gonna like save it from, you know, whatever. But yeah, so it's like suggests that like some sympathetic billionaire might save like quality journalism and fashion media, but actually like it gets into like media consolidation as well, and like that's what's happening right now in the media world of like the Ellison family has acquired Paramount, and conservatives are buying up like CBS News, and a lot of legacy outlets have been like gutted. So it's like resulting in a lot of job losses and censorship, and like the erosion of editorial independence that made these places like culturally powerful. And anyways, how this all like connects to America's Next Top Model is, again, like who controls the media is who's controlling the beauty standard. And like ultimately it all comes down to like profiting off of insecurity.
Yeah. And even as you're saying that, I'm like, I think this is why there was such a huge shift into like the quote unquote body positivity movement. And it's because social media, the social aspect of just like real people sharing their real lives and like taking the influencer part aside, it's like we can view anybody who chooses to put themselves out there, and we can see there's so much more visibility of like who we can see, and it's not just coming from one or like, you know, a conglomerate of people pushing what we're seeing. And like I feel like some of the rhetoric I've seen online is like the body positivity media is like going away now with like GLP-1, and just like that being quote like unironically shoved down our throats of just like this easy thing to GLP-1s. Anyways, that's like undoing a lot of the work of like fuck diet culture and like anti-diet culture that we've seen in the last 10 years or so. But yeah, I do think like social media, the power of that is also so easy now to get into like anti or like rebelling against mainstream everything. Like you can find your niche of like whatever you don't agree with. You can find other people to connect with who also share that same mentality. And that's a win. Obviously, it comes with a lot, but yeah, like
Right.
the people are in control of the narratives more, and that is a win.
But are they? Because it's really like the algorithm, like what, like you're saying, it's
Ooh.
the algorithms that are in control of the narratives. And it's like, they are pushing, they're still pushing these industries that profit off of our insecurities through these beauty standards, right?
You're so
the beauty
right.
standard
You're so smart.
has changed in some way, but also not. It's like, I don't know. There's so much on my feed about like diet and cosmetics and weight loss drugs and plastic surgery, fitness, you know, all of that stuff.
Yeah,
Fast fashion.
my feed right now. Yeah, I don't have a lot of. I guess maybe I do. I feel like the like standouts in my themes right now are like a lot of influencers I follow who used to be more of like body neutrality or like fighting the mainstream. They're now going like now they're in like their weight loss era or like their strong is beautiful era, and it's just like a lot more working out videos and like what I eat in a day, which I'm like, I didn't like, this is a total 180 from what I originally followed you with. And then it's also a lot of like trad wife, like soft launching trad wife on my feed, where it's just like, I just want to stay at home with my kids all day, and I wasn't meant for this hustle culture life, and homeschooling is so beautiful. And but it's worded in a way where I'm like, do I agree with this? And I take a step back, I'm like, holy shit, no I don't. It's just so accessible, and it's I'm being, what's it called, red pilled.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is insidious that way because, and you know, we have talked like as friends about this, and I think this is kind of like a pervasive feeling in our generation in general, and it's not exclusive, like especially for progressive women, of like we're burnt out by hustle culture, right? And like we're in like our 30s now, coming to the age of like wanting to have kids and all that stuff, and realizing how fucked it is to like have kids and a career and like all this stuff, right? Where
You
we're
can't
like,
have it all. You can't have it all.
You
No.
can't. And like just being burnt out by like late stage capitalism.
Yeah.
And so like it's like to me, I would love like on paper being a trad wife seems amazing, you know, like I would love to have like this like slow life where I like grow my own food, and to me I'm seeing like the sustainability side of it, kind of, but it's been like kind of co-opted, I guess, by the right, where then it's like this more actual regressive messaging where it's like women belong in the home, and oh, you're so tired of, aren't you tired of like the trappings of capitalism and having a career and all that stuff, so maybe just step back from public life. And I don't know, it's so hard because I'm like, I get it, like I do, it is enticing to me, but it's also being used to take our rights away. So, well, you know,
no, but literally I know, I'm like, oh my god, on a side note, in a perfect world I would work from 10 to 2 4 days a week, and that would be a perfect world. My mortgage says, bitch, don't quit your job. And also like I did an 18-month mat leave, and going back to work, like the brain space of not having to be 100% responsible for your child is actually so freeing. Like I want to spend so much time with my daughter, and I also cannot spend every single moment with my daughter for my own mental health. Like this is why I think like 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day is like the sweet spot, because it's just enough to like decompress but also have the time with her. But like on the weekends are beautiful because 2 parents, 1 child, but like when it was just me and her, like, oh my gosh, I was not my best self, and I know this about myself. So then when I see, like, I bet you if I picked up my phone right now, I would scroll 10 scrolls, and I would, before I hit to 10, there would be something soft launching like trad wife, trad life, on my feed. It's just, and it's so subtle. It's just so subtle. Anyways, how did we get here?
Well, we were talking about the beauty standards being pushed at us, but like that is a whole other part of it too. Like
Yeah. Social media, the algorithm. It always comes down to the algorithm.
And you know, we talk a lot about how this like affects women because we're women and that's our experience. But I don't want to say like this is affecting young men as well. It's affecting everyone, but like, you know, the whole looks maxing.
I don't even know what that is. No.
Oh God, to be you, I want to be on your.
Is that like a phrase, or is that like a?
Yeah, it's like part of like the manosphere. There's a guy named Clavicure. Fucking I don't know, but it's like looks. It's like the whole like maximizing. Like it's like a beauty standard thing for men where it's like you maximize your looks to become like, well, more attractive to women, basically.
Like a peacock, but basically.
Yeah. It's very like manosphere-y in a way where an incel-y. Like it's not in a way that's like healthy or like in a way to help these young men see women as people. You know, it's like
I understand now.
Yeah. Like, oh, being a nice guy isn't enough type shit.
Yikes.
So you got to like beat your jaw with a hammer to give you a stronger jawline. Oh yeah. Dude, it's dark. Honestly, I want to keep you like innocent to all of this, honestly.
Beat your face with a hammer.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, like, this is obviously affects young men as well. Like, it's not. Yeah.
I was never doubting that. Oh my God. That's awful.
And the thing with GLP-1s too, it's unfortunate because they're amazing for a lot of people, right? Like they could do a lot of good for people's like actual health, but you know, they're just being abused to.
I'm not bashing GLP-1s as a medicine.
No, not at all.
I'm bashing the constant, you cannot escape an advertisement for one. And that's what I have an issue with. If you want to go on a GLP-1 as an individual, I am not fighting that. That is your right. You're welcome to do that.
Totally.
It's just the ads. It's everywhere. And I'm like, I don't want to take it. And I can't escape the advertisements for it. Like literally at my workplace, there's billboards everywhere to get to my workplace. And there's an ad like right there, not even a kilometer away from my office, that has a GLP-1 ad. And I'm like, I have to drive past this every day. That's crazy.
Because it's like, still...
Can you name any other medicine that's advertised at this like rate? Like it's not just a medicine. It's just, it's the messaging. That's what I have the issue with.
It's definitely insidious.
I don't even think it's like thinness itself, but it's this messaging of like, yes, it's thinness, but it's also this like, you could be happier. Do you want to be happier? Oh, if you were thinking about it, here it is. Or I don't even know. It's just,
yeah, like this will fix all your problems.
It's a fix. It's
just take this
like,
little,
this is a fix.
Yeah, this will change everything. Oh, but that's always what like all of these like diet culture has tried to sell it as, right? It's like if you take this pill or follow this diet or this like exercise routine or whatever, you will be happy and like you will be like the women on America's Top Model, like you will make it, you know. This is ties into like the pain is like and everything of beauty. That's all worth it to become this like ideal version of yourself, you know, that will be loved and accepted. Like I don't know, it's
brutal.
And it's all so connected to just like
it's just keeping us unhappy. It's like you buy more when you're unhappy. You buy more when you feel like you need to be happy. And so if we just keep you in a constant state of don't settle for where you're at right now, be better, do better, and whatever that is, then people have money to make. And that is capitalism, baby, and it sucks to be here.
Yes, because then that's how it ties into the fast fashion industry, right? Where it's like be skinnier, and then also like, but you're still not happy, so then maybe buy these clothes that'll like just give you this like instant dopamine hit. You know, you're always getting something new, despite the fact that it's like so bad for the planet and also extremely exploitative of people in the global south, because that's how capitalism works. Has to be off the back of somebody. And yeah, the whole system just is extracting from people. It doesn't serve like all the way through.
Yeah.
With the fast fashion thing, it's like, we don't need 10 colors of the same item, but we're trying to like filling this void of something that's
It's
like
filling
being
the
messaged at
void.
us all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now with AI, do we even need human models to model our clothes? Do we even need human models to do anything anymore? Like,
This is where I'm like, try and take like a positive spin on it with the AI thing, where I'm like,
yeah, take us in a positive direction.
because AI is going to be so perfect, like the thing that we will then crave is imperfection, you know? And that will be like what is, that's like my hope. It's like imperfection in art and like, and seeing humanity in art, but also in bodies too, right? And just like in how people look. Like, I don't know.
I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but honestly, like I see a culture shift of way more people getting rid of all social media. There's just going to be too much AI. There's going to be too much, you can't tell if it's AI, or there's just too much AI content out there, and people are just going to let go and just, how else do you navigate it? Like, I don't even know. You have to touch grass. Like, you have to get into the real world. You have to just get offline. What you were talking about, actually, I was listening to a Diabolical Lies episode because I love that podcast. And they were talking about attention economy, which is, I'm like, that's so relevant. Never heard this term before. And then you taught it to me, and then now I'm like hearing it everywhere. But like at some point, we're as a society going to be aware of how much attention economy we are being like blindly following. And I think there will be in the near future, I think people are just going to throw in the towel altogether.
Hopefully. I think this is kind of goes into what you're saying about earlier about watching reality TV, and you have to like really train yourself to fight against the edit, like to like think critically. And I think that's the same with like with all social of media. This, right? Yeah, you have to really
all media,
because I totally buy things that I don't need sometimes to feel that rush of like something's coming in the mail, like I have something to live for.
And what is it? What's your most like obscene purchase of the last month?
Oh my God.
6 months. 6 months.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything obscene. I just like, if I want something, what? For those who are listening and not watching, watch us on YouTube if you want the whole video effect. But Brianna just took out a tiny birthday hat, paper birthday hat, and put it on. Did you buy that? Tell me you made that.
I did not make them, no. To be fair.
Did your daughter make them?
No, she did not make them. They were for her birthday. We put them on her stuffies, and then her stuffies greeted her at the door with birthday hats on. So it's very pure, but like, it's junk. It's so unnecessary.
That is so cute, though. Though that's worth it. That is so worth it.
You hype me up, girl.
If you were a real trad wife, you would have sewn those yourself.
I would have hand spun the yarn from my sheep outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're failing as a mom.
Don't I feel that every day?
No, you're doing great. That is so cute. That is so cute. I love that.
Oh man.
What's something absurd? Well, okay. I don't know if I could admit this on the podcast. Okay, but I still subscribe to a FabFitFun box. I love it. I love it.
I love that for you. Is it every month or every quarter?
It's every quarter. So it's like every season. Okay.
That's not crazy.
So you'll get like a summer box. Yeah. And honestly, you get to choose the thing that goes in them. And it's just like a little like refresh for each season of like little, I don't know. I feel like, and if there's anything I don't like, I could just give it away as a gift or whatever. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, that is like my, like, I don't know.
Guilty pleasure of consumerism.
Yeah, exactly. But you do have to like, yeah, just like when trying to understand the edit and like,
okay, wait, Willow, I feel like you should turn on a light behind you because it's giving Lord Voldemort.
Again, tune into the YouTube. I'm just gonna turn on the overhead light.
It happened very quickly.
I know. I was noticing it, but I was like, it's fine.
Okay, keep going.
So just like understanding, you have to work to understand the edit. You also have to work to understand all these other mechanisms that are manipulating you and like trying to get you to buy shit that you don't need and feeding off your insecurities and teaching you to hate yourself.
You can't buy things if you're not insecure about something to buy. You got to keep that feeling coming. So on that note, so let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. America's Next Top Model. I actually think they're launching a new cycle or a new season kind of soon. I feel like I remember seeing that in the documentary. But if it's coming soon, it hasn't aired yet. So if you were in charge of the photo shoots and what type of photo shoot themes there would be for this new season that launched in 2026, what type of themes would you like to see?
I would like to, if you're actually trying to like create art with these, then like make art that like is actually saying something and like is important. It's like you do have an opportunity to use these to like give positive messages, instead of like exploitative ones or just like fucked up we're switching our races ones. Like do something to draw attention to like climate change, like everyone just turns off their TV immediately. It's like, that's what I want to see. But yeah, I think something like that. What about you?
I like that. I'm not gonna lie, I wrote this question, didn't put any thought into it. What would I like to see from like an entertaining, I feel like it's like an entertainment type of value from a entertainment type of perspective.
Yeah, you don't have to give an annoying answer like me.
Your answer was too good. I don't know. I'll have to come back to it maybe. I'm unoriginal. I'm like, just show me. What I'm picturing is just like ball gowns. Like I would just love to see like ginormous ball gowns and just like a very beautiful thing, like beautiful, simple and beautiful. That's so boring.
What does fashion mean to you generally? Like, are you into fashion? Is that like important to you?
I'm not. Nope. I live in, well, it used to be leggings, but now it's like joggers and like a baggy tee. That is my uniform. Yeah, no, I'm not actually super big into fashion, but I think is why I'm like, I want to see like the glam piece of fashion. I do. Yeah, I'm just also like not good at fashion. Like there was a period of time when Nordstrom was a thing in Vancouver, would go to a stylist and like tell them what I wanted, and they would just pull clothes for me and then like show me it's free. So they would just pull clothes for me and they would show me how to put outfits together from the pieces that they pulled.
So fun.
It was great. Fun. And then they closed, and then my stylist didn't work there anymore, and now she's retired. But it was actually great, and it was super helpful, and I feel like I need that like hand holding to be like, what do I do for my body shape, for my budget, for like truly what I enjoy wearing and like what my lifestyle is. I do not have an eye for it, and she was really great. So yeah. What about you?
I wouldn't consider myself like super like well versed in fashion, like in terms of like knowing like the history and the technicalities of it all, but I do really like fashion. Like
I feel like you're very good with style. Like the way that you style your house is like very cohesive and like has a very specific point of view, and I feel like your fashion has that too, actually.
Yeah, I would say I have a fairly strong personal style. Yeah. And like certain aesthetics and stuff for sure. Yeah. So yeah, and but then like I do like looking at, I don't know, runway shows or whatever, and like having someone explain them to me, because I'm not like educated in that, but I do like that, and I think fashion can be really interesting. Or like even something as basic as like I don't watch the Met Gala, but I like get, when it's on social media, I like to look at all the different looks and stuff.
I like to hear people's takes for sure. Yeah, it's funny because sometimes I look at an outfit and be like, ooh, I do not like that, and you're like, wow, this is this the rhetoric around it, and I'm like, I'm just bad at judging what looks good, apparently.
But it's personal, and it is subjective, and it's a way to express yourself. And because even too, like, yes, I feel like I have a sense of style, but like I often am also just wearing like a t-shirt and jeans, like
and boxers.
And boxers. To speak in like TikTok speak, what is your like core? If you had to describe your style as like blank core, because mine would be like 90s dad, grandma. If your 90s dad was a grandma who was a kindergarten teacher.
That's actually very accurate for you. Core. Okay, mine would be soccer mom, and I don't even know. Oh my God, this is hard. See, this is what I mean. I'm like, I don't know. Can I type into ChatGPT what's in my wardrobe when they tell me what my core is? Don't do that. I'd rather send Willow some Dasani water and tell her to chug it and then tell me what my core is. Mom core. Soccer mom, okay. Mom core. I honestly don't even know. Yeah, it's a lot of athleisure, and it's a lot of oversized sweaters and biker shorts. I don't even know.
Yeah, we really prioritize comfort, but also like to be active, and you do yoga and Pilates and dance class and stuff. So
I think it's just soccer mom core. I think that's it.
Fit your lifestyle. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. It's a core.
Embarrassing. Not original. Boo.
So if you could give your younger self advice about media consumption, what would it be? Or what would you think is important for like teens to know about media consumption now?
I think it's important to know that everything that you are, everything you see is coming with a story already written for how they want you to view what you're viewing, or for how they want you to feel. I think it's important to know that like everything we see came from likely a team of people, or like came from somebody who's specifically putting out a message, whether that's TV, whether that's an ad, whether that's a newspaper, whether that's social media. Like whatever you are seeing is produced very meticulously for you to see it. So that somebody
can profit off of you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
exactly. And so that doesn't mean that you have to agree with it, and it doesn't mean that you have to continue. If it makes you feel a way that you don't like, that's okay, and it's okay to not force yourself to fit into the narrative that it keeps projecting. Like, actually, we didn't talk about this with America's Next Top Model, but I think when I was younger, like, I just blindly expected the production team to have the best interest in mind for the girls, and to have the best interest in mind and protect them. And now understanding that didn't happen, it's like, that's really sad. And so with all the type of media we're consuming, like, they don't always have your best interest in mind, I think is maybe where I'll leave it at that. So you have to think critically as to like, what are they trying to tell me about what I'm watching, is like the question that you should be asking. And it's hard. It's very hard. It's hard even now, after we're specifically like even trying to talk about it. I'm like, this is hard because I don't even have it fully flushed out myself, like, let alone when I wasn't aware of it at all.
Yeah. And it's hard because, again, there's like some positives to it, because like my like point of view is, or whatever, with my style, it's like I didn't just like invent that myself, right? Like I've just collected that from consuming media and choosing ones that I resonate with, right? And like just taking pieces of it and and making it mine. So it's not like it's like necessarily bad, because this is the way that we develop our identity. It's just like, I think, trying to focus on more so on like, how is this actually making me feel? Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to be a human.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard. This can be just what it is. This can be just a show to watch. That's all it has to be.
Right.
This can be for entertainment, and it doesn't have to go any deeper. It doesn't have to go any deeper than that. Like, this can just be something fun to watch, and like leave it at that. I think it's like the opposite of what I just said.
Yeah,
but
I don't
think
have
both
to like
are true.
Internalize it. Totally. You don't have to internalize everything that's like being shown to you. Yeah, it is the opposite. It's like, take things at face value, but also don't.
And that's the easy truth. They're easy.
I don't know. I think what we're trying to say with this episode ultimately is that like, things haven't changed despite our best efforts, you know? And so we just got to stay vigilant.
Oof,
You know?
what a message.
That's It's Called Reality.
The discourse for people who give a shit.
Find us at It's Called Reality on Instagram and TikTok, and go to itscalledreality.tv to get all of our episodes. Please hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review.
And tell your group chat. That's how we grow.